Hello everybody and welcome back to the channel and welcome to the ultimate beginner's guide for 7 days to die. With me today is Hightower840. How are we doing, Hightower?
Hey, we're doing good, trying to survive.
Fantastic. Okay, so why is this the ultimate survival guide rather than just a survival guide or beginner's guide, whatever you want to call it? Well, there's going to be a couple of different things this time on this one. More so that you're going to notice is the fact that Hightower's with me and he's going to be going and doing something a little bit different later on. Now, I'm going to do this very similar to the Alpha 18 guide, where I'm going to build myself a Horde base to survive the Horde night at the end of day 7. This is on a 60-minute day, so it's all basic. The only difference I've done is it's basically my nighttime's shorter than the daytime, and the daytime's longer than what it will be on vanilla, just to give us a chance to actually get things done on recordings so we're not wasting too much time. But everything we do can cross over to a perfectly capable vanilla server, so hopefully what we teach you today, or at least what we point out, might help you. And now the second big thing is Hightower is going to be building on a POI. So a lot of people were asking, how do you take over a POI? And obviously because I'd taken over a Horde base of my own design, then I couldn't actually do anything about showing you the POI. So Hightower's going to go ahead and do that for me, and then we're going to probably try and cover both sides of it together, and hopefully we'll get a good idea on both. Now, we're going to start fresh, and what we're going to try and do on this one, and this is the other point that I was going to make, is that we're going to make everything as bare bones as we can. So we're going to go into as much detail as we can, including the new things in Alpha 19 and how they're going to affect us, but we're not going to go and just split it all out at the beginning. As we go through, we'll point out some of the new stuff. We can already start seeing like some slight changes where some of the effects of the buildings are a bit nicer. So you'll also notice the trees are a little bit better. Now I did actually. Let's just turn up. Make sure we are on ultra quality. We are on ultra. Matter of fact, I think there's an ultra plus.
Turned things down just a little bit.
You can. I haven't.
Well, no, I was just thinking that everything was new in high def. I was afraid it was gonna be too much.
If you were afraid it were going to blow up your computer.
Yeah, I didn't want to see it catch on fire.
That's a good point. Well, mine is now on ultra, so we can see now just the quality of things. Now they've worked on improving all sorts of stuff. I think even things like these have been redone. But enough of that. Let's get on with starting the game. Now there is a little thing that pops up, which I'll pop out right now. And basically, it's just basically telling you who you are, what you're doing, how you got here, and what we need to do first. And obviously, the first thing we need to do is gather plant fibers, as is in the top right corner, to craft a bedroll. Now, I'm going to go through things like the button commands and stuff like that, just for anybody who is brand new to 7 Days to Die. So I apologize if you know how to play and you're just here for a refresher. But I want to try and cover everything for everybody, so just bear with me on stuff like that. So your typical running is Shift and W, and then left mouse button to smack on these little fiber things here. They all give you fiber. Some of them actually give you wood now, so the dead ones give you wood, which is quite nice. That's a new feature. There we go. So, I'm going to right click. Sorry, not right click. We're going to press the tab, and you can see which one you need to build first, which is the bedroll, which is the one with the little icon out. We're going to go ahead and craft that. Obviously, short key is W to craft as well. Don't do anything just yet, because if you do things prior to completing the quests, it'll ask you to do them again, so you'll end up repeating yourself. You want to click on that and drag. Click and drag onto your hotbar, and then you get your typical layout there. Left click lets you rotate. And there's a little thing as well, if you notice just there, you'll see the little white box that's appearing. That's like your safe zone. So zombies shouldn't spawn around your bedroll around that safe zone. Okay, now another new thing for Alpha 19 is they've now made it so that the cursor icons on your compass at the top are now also on top of the item as well, so you can see it visually in the world, which is really nice. Now, I'm going to go ahead and pick that back up because I want to move bases, so I don't want to end up spawning back here. We'll pick that up and we'll drag it into our inventory there. Okay, so next thing we've got is to gather plant fibers and wood, which we've already done because obviously I collected more than we needed. And we just need some small stones. Now there's two ways you can do it. You can go ahead and punch a big rock if you find one. And the second one is you can go around picking these little small stones up. Now they've changed these small stones because these used to be white, or at least a lot whiter than they are now. So they're a little easier to see. And don't run into a cactus, FYI, they hurt.
Yes, cactus sharp.
Pro tip, Hightower, don't walk into a cactus.
Yes, the cactuses are sharp.
Yep. Okay, same again. The little icon up there. We're crafting this stone axe. Now your stone axe to begin with is a brilliant tool and it's also a good weapon as well. But it is primitive, but I do love the graphics they've done in it. So they've overhauled a load of graphics and the stone axe actually looks like a stone axe. However, it also looks like I've already beaten someone to death with it. Now, it's time to craft plant fiber clothing because we've already got the plant fiber. We're absolutely fine, so we can go ahead and just craft the two. And it only takes a couple of seconds. So these 4 blocks here are your queue. You can only queue 4 items at any one time whilst you're in your personal inventory. And if you want to click on it and press W, it'll wear it for you. Same for that one. If you want to see what you are wearing and all your stats and stuff like that, you've got a bar at the top here. The one we're on crafting. So the middle section will tell you what you're actually on, and it'll also highlight it with this kind of like a brown color on the one you're on. Anything new will flash orange, which is usually this icon here, or if you're doing quests, this icon here. When you get some perks, this one also pops up. If you've got invitations, the players one will highlight. As you can see, we're on a PvP server. Now, this is the PvP server from, well, this isn't the actual one. This is the new one. This is a new PvP, sorry, this PvP? Multiplayer. We're not PvP, we're PvE. I do apologise, we're not going to kill you, don't worry. Well, I might kill Hightower, but that's a different story.
That's not okay now.
That's not fair.
I'm in danger.
Okay, so this is the multiplayer server that we will be releasing to the public. If you'd like to get involved and if you want to join us on the server, then all you need to do is check out the description below, the link, and the link will take you to our Discord where we can enjoy ourselves with your company. There's plenty of us playing it. This server will probably already reach maximum capacity, so we're already looking at upgrading it. So if you want an active Discord and an active server, then do check out the links in the description below. But let's move on. So yes, so this is a live server. So everything we do now will already be completed, so you get to see it firsthand. But yeah, it'll be fun.
It should be.
You finished?
Well, I mean, I'm running through the desert away from zombies, so it should be fun, but there are zombies. Just saying.
Now, obviously, we've collected a bit of wood there. Them little dead tree things. These here. These will give you a bit of wood, and also the actual dead wood logs on the ground. If you just use your stone axe here, and you can go ahead and gather that. There we go. Gives you plenty of wood. For what we need anyway. Our next job is to craft a wooden club. Oh, that's what I was going on to. I almost forgot. We'll craft a wooden club anyway. So yeah, so these will highlight up, and obviously you'll get that when you are playing on a multiplayer server. However, for information you want for your character, you press on this second one here. Shows you all your clothing here. Shows you your level here. It's a little hard to see with that. Let's just look on the ground. Go. You can just about see it there, and you can see everything that you've got on effects. So this is your positive and negative effects. And it'll also tell you bits about whatever you've got highlighted. So, obviously, we had elemental protection, which was highlighted there. You're temporarily protected from heat and cold. There is no XP penalty on death. This protection will decrease and disappear at level 6, so think ahead. So, until you're level 6, so levels 1 to 5, you are a little easier to survive. And obviously, if you click on these, it'll also give you the heat and cold resistance as well. You press on this little button here, the core character stats. That's your stats. What the temperature feels like, how many zombies you've killed, how many player kills, how many deaths, all that kind of jazz there as well. How much XP you need, and obviously health, stamina, food, and water. Now, the one thing I did read in the And the Alpha 19 was that the health and water bars were supposed to appear. Now, I don't know if that's supposed to appear when you start getting low. We'll see. But it does say in the updates it does appear. So we'll see about that. Okay, so let's get back to crafting primitive bow and crafting stone arrow. Now, if you noticed, I had a... If I can find one again. There's lots of these birds' nests around, these here. Now, I did promise a lot of people to mention this. However, I don't tend to do it. I either forget to do it or I let it respawn or whatever. I don't know. I have this feeling that if I kill it, it'll never like bring any other ones back. But I can't prove that. These bird nests here, once you've gathered your feathers, which you need for your arrows, and obviously any eggs that'll come for food, but we didn't get any, you can then actually axe them, and they'll give you some more feathers. So just a little tip there. Right, let's go ahead and get our next mission, our next quest done. Craft primitive bow, craft stone arrow. So primitive bow, and we'll craft a stone arrow. Easy done. One done. And the second one done. Now, one arrow is going to do you no good, but it is telling you to place a single wood block, craft it, place it, upgrade it. So we'll craft one. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my stone arrows that I've got, press this button here, which is the arrow with the line, as you would expect it to do. It will give you the maximum amount, and we'll craft what arrows we can. I'm then going to drag my primitive bow onto the bar, like so, and then we've got ourselves a bar. Oh, the wood frame blocks look tidy now. We'll just drag that and swap it. Left click rotates, as it always has done. Right click places, and they have improved the graphics. That looks like an actual wood frame block now. Pretty cool. To upgrade, you want to use your mouse wheel scroll if you've got it, or the numbers 1. And then you right click, and it upgrades. Typical that. You can just leave that there if you want, but it's going to tell you to build a campfire, which you can see there, gather small stones. And we need 5 small stones. We used ours just to make up some more arrows. We can just run around, collect the stones around here. Or as I say, if you find some stone blocks, boulders or anything like that, you can hammer on them as well. Oh, that's a zombie. We found a zombie already. And I am looking forward to seeing the... Yeah, just one. I didn't move away from the starting zone. Oh, we searched some old trash. That's a new HD for the old trash as well. Looking good there. That's a good point. Whilst you're commenting on that, where you start, if you look on your map, your starting zone here. Within this starting zone here, there is a protective barrier, so to speak. So no zombies will spawn there first. Then as you start wandering out from that barrier, then you'll start seeing zombies. So you want to avoid that for the moment. Just stick in that area and you'll be fine. But as you can see, I've left the area now, so now we're getting zombies. Okay, that looks a lot better than last time. It looks pretty cool. And then all you do is you can right click to zoom in and out. Hold the left mouse button and it'll aim, it'll like pull it back and then release. In. There we go, and he's dead. And you can pick up any that don't get destroyed on the ground. Oh, I almost missed that bird's nest there. Let's go ahead and beat on this for some more. Oh, got a little bit of cloth as well. Fantastic. Duffel bag. We spotted a duffel bag. That's quite nice. You always want to look around for like trashes and stuff like that. We got floating trash there. You want to always keep your eye out for stuff like this because these usually have good stuff in them. Whilst we're looking for stone, we've got 2 more stones to get. Now what you can do, as I say, is you can just beat on stuff like this. Now that's going to take you forever and it'll probably give you dirt. But after a while you'll get stone from that. One more stone. One more stone. Gotta be careful now because we've moved out of the area, these zombies are going to start appearing. You can see one there. We're also looking at about midday as well, so we need to really start thinking about getting ourselves into a secure area. Amount of garbage there. I'm just going to loot everything right now, and the way I'm grabbing everything at once is basically when you open it up, if you press the Shift and R, it collects everything. Okay, so we've now got our campfire, so I'm going to build my campfire. Had you stayed in the area, then there'd have been no zombies near our block, but now there are zombies everywhere. So we've got to be a little bit more careful about what we spot. They've improved all the icons for the mounds of rubbish, which is kind of cool. I believe you actually beat on them. Yeah, they give you paper and plastic. That little block that we started on. So we need to place our campfire. So again, drag it onto your hotbar. Scroll over to it. Right click place, and there we go. Okay, so we have now completed the basic survival quest. Good job, survivor. You've proved yourself to be capable. You've proved to be capable with much potential. We have marked your map with the nearest White River outpost location. There you will find a trader. We can buy and sell goods and trade stories with one of our friendly citizens. Okay, so you can choose to break this down if you want to keep it with you. It'll only give you stone, but one less stone to gather. And I usually leave the block there because it's just not worth the hassle. And as you can see now, we've got a couple of markers on our map. We've only got 2 here. 1.9 kilometers, which is flashing with the little, just see it, that little quest symbol. That's where our trader is. So we're going to head on over there. And also over there is Hightower. Kind of cool. So hopefully we'll meet up with Hightower. And he's going to be coming along on some of our early raids because, well, you can do it as 1 or 2 people. The tactics are just the same for both. So we're gonna head on over to the traders, and then hopefully we don't get spotted by any zombies on the way. If we don't get spotted by any zombies, then we'll cut to it, and I'll meet you all at the traders. And welcome back everybody, and as you can see, our backpack is on the ground. Now, before I picked it up, I wanted to point out that, as you can see on the cursor, there's the blue icon. If you ever do die, then obviously if you don't notice it, this is the icon you get for your own personal backpack. And then if you hit R, it'll pick everything up. Now, anything that you had in your toolbar, it will put it back in as it was. Now, you'll also notice, well, I put in a little clip there of a couple of instances we had. One where there was a zombie beating us. Your best defense is to run away. Especially if you find anything like the dogs or the wolves or anything like that, just run away from them. At this level, you can outrun them. It's not night time, so they won't catch up with you. We took out the other one, but that's because there was 2 of us, so one could beat on the back of him. But don't worry about that. The second thing I want to comment on is the Vulture. Now, if you want to take the Vulture out, the easiest way to take it out when you've not got something that'll fire long range is actually getting out a club or a knife or something, walking backwards and stabbing it, or beating it with your club. And you will actually get it killed, hopefully. So just put that in mind if you do get anything like that. Now, we have got a slight problem, and we don't know whether or not it's something to do with the map itself or whether it's something to do with Alpha 19. But as you can see, our marker is about 85 meters, 90 meters below us. We can get a little bit closer than that, but there is absolutely no way of us actually getting to the trader from the marker. So we're going to check out and see whether or not that is actually an issue with the map or whether it's something else. So we'll go about and have a look for another trader. Hopefully complete that mission. But we're just going to ignore that for now. We'll move on to our next point that we're going to do, which is getting ourselves somewhere to settle for the night. Now, the first night's the worst night because there's not really much you can do. Which is why, as you're going around, if you gather things and then look for somewhere. Now, unfortunately, the desert is one of the worst places you can start at because, yeah, it's just rough. It's a lot of temperature. There's a lot of things that want to kill you. There's vultures. If you can help it, move away from the desert. But we're going to set up a bit of a challenge so that, you know, if you do end up want to go to here, you'll have some idea as to how to combat against it. But there we go, some buildings here. Now, unfortunately, Hightower was taken out by one of the vultures that we didn't see, so he's going to make his way back to us. He's nearly there now.
Hey, I'm already here. Air
Excellent.
my dirty laundry.
But as you can see, we're 7 o'clock at night now. If you were playing it on normal hours, then you're going to start looking at being nighttime. I believe it's 10 till 4 still. Normal hours. Ours is 10 till 2. Now we need to repair this here. So item needs to repair. So if we press the tab key, right click, not right click, sorry, left click on it, and you can repair it. And what that uses is the resources that basically you have to build it. Oh, I thought I was a zombie then. Resources that you have to build it is to use to repair it. So we're going to set up. We're going to get our club. Now I did pick up a hunting knife in my travels, and there's a few other bits and bobs. We'll go over all of that at a later stage. But right now we want to take out this POI just so we have somewhere safe to stay for the next couple of days. Now this is a 3-story, I believe. Now there's going to be zombies in here. Now if you press your left control, you'll actually duck. And you'll see that there's a little yellow bar there. That little yellow bar tells you what your sound and visual detection is. So if that's higher, then you're either making a lot of noise or you're very clearly visible. Obviously, nighttime that'll drop even more. And when you move, your footsteps and stuff like that. The reason why I might mention this is because when we go into here like this, and we come in and sneak, if there's zombies, they're less likely to see you. Now, there is trigger points in these bases. There you go, there's a trigger point. So you want to move back out, let the zombie come out to you, and then you just want to kite them basically. You can't take many hits at this level. There we go, when they're on the ground, just beat them as much as you can until they get back up. There we go. Okay. Now, I'm not going to sneak around because this is more than likely going to trigger more than anything. Doors like that will probably have zombies in them. It doesn't, it has a back room, thank God for that. So what you want to try and do is you want to try and clear the area first. A lot of looting around here to be done. Because we're using this as our point of location for the next 3 days, we're just going to clear everything and then we'll loot. Back door's locked, that's good for us.
Moving up, second floor.
Second floor.
Oh, zombies in the closet.
Move back, move back, move back.
Zombie down.
He fell over. Now, if you were a solo player there, ouch. If you were a solo player, you want to keep yourself moving away like that, because if someone like that turns up, you've not got your back to them. You want to keep beating them.
Yeah, come on down.
They'll drop down whichever way is the shortest way. Don't put yourself in a corner like that. As you can see, you can just count them out, keep beating on them. Always keeping an eye behind you, because a zombie may appear behind you. Okay, so you got her then. So plenty of room. Once you've got more room to fight, if she starts running at you, because they do charge every now and then, I'll run out of arrows. Ouch, that actually hit me.
Oh, I'm sorry about that.
Now, her hit range is slightly longer than what you'd expected, so she doesn't actually physically hit you. You want to keep plenty of distance, see? And yours is also just slightly longer. There we go, she's down. Pick up all my arrows. You just press E on her body and you'll pick up all the arrows. Same for this other guy if he's still in here. Will he disappear?
Can I get that one back off of you?
No, you can't. Trophy. Okay, right, let's move on up. Now, always keep the rooms, like, so you're not leaving your back to them, like so.
Clear the corners when you enter, too.
Eye out. They could drop from up here. Keep an eye out. There's a crate up there as well. There's loads of places to hide loot and stuff.
Big space up there.
Yep, so this is the way up. There's always a way up somewhere. You want to make sure if you just crouch. Right, so we've secured this location now, so if Hightower drops down to the bottom and closes the door for us, then hopefully get a secure location for our night time. This is actually a really good first location.
Yeah, that's why I enjoy taking over POIs.
That's why it's your job to do it. Oh, vultures, vultures, vultures.
Oh.
Get out of it, get out of it.
Where are you, up top still?
Yep, beating the vulture. There we go, Vulture's down. Now, if you just want to use your axe on him, he'll actually give you feathers as well, which is great. Feathers, bones, and some rotten flesh. The feathers and the bones are your more important things. Now, if you don't have a hunting knife or a skinning knife at this time, don't worry, use the bone. You can create a bone shiv and just do the exact same thing. We've already got one, so we're not going to waste it. But this here is our first really decent loot. If you press C, you can, by the way, you can just use your normal crouch. You'd have to perma crouch if you ever want to use that. This here is called a seal crate. And you want to beat on this until you break the crate, and it'll then give you access to loot. Hit E, and it's usually food for the Shamway. So sandwiches is going to be terrible for us. Now, if you press the R, not Shift R, that will bring it. I mean, Shift R does still bring it across, but R is just... But, yeah, we've already got plenty of loot. Now, they have mentioned that they've changed the looting system, so that now you are more likely to get lesser leveled stuff. So, higher end will give you more stuff. Also, if you want things like rocks and stuff like that, these will give you rocks. Like, so they give you cobblestone, which can be used to build stuff. And these will give you paper. And I think they might give you plastic as well, they do. You can beat on them if you ever want extra resources. Wooden chest, have you already looted all this stuff?
A couple of things. I haven't found anything.
Well, the next thing you want to be checking out is the floors. If anything looks like a loose floorboard, it is more than likely a loose floorboard. Check them out, because you'll probably find a box of goodies under them. Coal, not useful for us right now. And as you can see, we're starting to get over encumbered. 4 or 5 is not too bad. It just means you use a lot more stamina getting about. But you're not too bad, especially if you're set up now. Like we are, we're in a location here. Medical cupboard. Ooh, got some stuff. We're setting a location now, so what we're going to do is we're going to craft ourselves. We're going to go into the next floor. Never go to the ground floor, because if they do break in, we can actually head to the upstairs and we can get ourselves out. If you're in a building that has no roof, set yourself up something where you break through the roof, then you can get out. Nothing there. Pile of trash. So this here, there's loads of ways you can escape. It's actually a really good POI for a first location, so you've got plenty of room. You can get up on top of there and you can escape. It just gives you more chance of surviving. So there's actually a wooden chest already here, but I'm going to craft a secure storage chest. I'm going to craft a couple of them. We've got our bedroll, so we'll place our bedroll down. If you're playing on a multiplayer server, you'll get a land claim block. Don't worry about that. Just keep it safe for when you do want to find yourself a permanent location. I'm going to take this room here. I'm going to place my bedroll in here, like so. And then I'm going to place my 2 chests like this. Storage chests are much bigger than what this wooden chest is, so we can go ahead and what you can do is you can actually break the wooden chests and they'll give you a bit of wood. Now if you've got any time left whatsoever, if you've managed to do this fairly early, now we wasted a lot of time coming to a trader that doesn't actually exist. Now you don't have to do the trader mission straight off the bat. Trader mission is just useful because he has quests and stuff like that, so we can use the quest to level up. But you really don't need to. Now, before I break this, there's a couple of things. If you're running multiplayer, or a single player, but mainly multiplayer, the likelihood is that's going to respawn after a while. Now, we set it to every 6 days it'll respawn. So every 6th day we can come back, loot all this stuff, and it'll have everything back in it. If you destroy it and break it like I'm about to do now, that's gone. It's gone forever. The only way you can get that back is if you get a quest that takes this POI as its main target, and then you can go ahead and reset it that way. But we'll talk about that when we do POI stuff. But we're going to just drop all of our stuff in. Now what I tend to do is I'll just drop everything in that I'm not going to need right now. We need our arrow, bow and arrow. We'll need our knife. We've got some scrap armor there. In fact, I think I've got a padded chest and a scrap chest armor. Got that. There's a couple of mods there. There's ammo. We don't have a weapon yet. Knuckle wraps is another type of weapon, I believe. Yes, it is. Red tea, which is really useful. We've also got a jacket, which will be good for us now. So we'll wear that because it's night time. And we'll just put all these resources away. Now, canned food. The big change from Alpha 18 to Alpha 19 is the likelihood of you picking up canned food. And also another thing is some of them can give you dysentery. I never get that word right, but It's right.
Dysentery.
Dysentery, that's the one. So you can see it there, it says 0%. Some of these will actually poison you, but it looks like these ones are fine to eat. So when you start getting low on your food and stuff like that, you can just eat it. Now, for that case, you can just shove it into your box. You're not going to need it right away. Brass. Yucca fruit. We can make stuff out of. We can make yucca juice, which you can make straight off the bat with your boiled water. And it actually does, it provides excellent hydration. It's actually better than water. So if you get something like that, make it because it'll be useful. Red tea, really good as well. It increases your it gives you efficient digestion, 15%. Really good if you want to eat food that's off because you're less likely to poison yourself. Aloe vera leaf is good for making med kits and stuff like that. So we'll keep all of it. Now, a lot of people may not want to keep all their stuff. I do tend to keep my stuff because I use it at a later stage and I'll build stuff out of it and I will make stuff for new players as well. All this stuff is useful, so I'm just going to keep all of it. We'll keep all of the knife that we've got as well, because that's good for skinning things, like you saw when I was using it on the bird and the vulture. But that's us for now, and that's going to be us for this episode. Now, we are injured, and we get one bandage, so we're going to use this one bandage. There you go. You click on it on your bar, it'll use it, and it'll give you some health. Food doesn't give you health unless it says it does. You can see that it says it gives you 7 health, and that gives you 7 health as well. Food marker just keeps you alive and stops you from dying from hunger and thirst and all that kind of stuff. You got your bed set up now?
I do.
Perfect. That's going to be us for this episode. Now, what we're going to try and do is we're going to try and give you a half a day, half. So we're going to give you a day and a night video, but we may split it so that the night video's got a bit of the day on it as well. But for the first day, possibly 2 days, there's not really much you can do at night time, so just sit yourself out. And what you can do is you can just go ahead and you can knock out these bits here. Try and do anything you're going to do within the inside of this building, because if you do it on the wall itself, they could hear you. And as you can see, if I start, I'll give you an example here. If I start hitting this, you see it's 23 there. It does make some sound, and obviously they can pick up that on the outside, so just bear that in mind. So you can carry on working around here, you can clear these. You don't want to break this pillar though, because that's going to hold you up. But these here, these can go. So that's what you're going to do at night time. So for that case alone, we're going to skip this first part of the night, and we're going to head on to day 2, where things are going to hopefully start getting a little bit more interesting for us. But until then, I'll see you all on the next one. Bye bye for now.